Hi everybody, welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura, we have Bunny next door, and this is the second show of today, looking at our brand new launch, which is our Spring Grandeur Collection. This is the most beautiful collection. It's a real storybook feel with this. I was saying earlier, it takes me back to like my childhood, in playing in the forest. You've got that blanket of florals there that you can decorate the floors with. You've got your teddy bear's picnic. You've got your new blooms in here. You've got your Easter egg hunters, so real scene building elements in here. And then you've got your basket and bow card shape. Now for me, you're getting two for the price of one in here, because you've got the woods, those trees that you can see, and that basket, to me, are both card shapes. So you could be making card shapes with the both of these. Now this morning we checked the stock and we were over 60% of the stock had gone from this from yesterday. So this is only the second day of launch, so I'd be quick if you want to grab this at that show price of $99.99. Then the other collection that we've got for you today is the rattan label card shape. Now this has been equally as popular, and over 60% of the stock of this has gone as well, which I'm not surprised. You're getting the heart and the label card shape there for $39.99, and these are really, really big dies that you're getting. So again, you're getting the mats and layers here with that rattan shape in the center, so your card bases are covered with this also. Then the other thing that I just want to show you quickly is the perfect papers. So these are the Spring Grandeur perfect papers. You can see that the colorways in here, it doesn't matter which floral I grab, you can see that they just coordinate perfectly with every colorway in there. You're getting 48 sheets in here, A4 cardstock, 300 GSM, and you are also getting the solid, the stripe, and the dot in the patterns in here. So it works perfectly with this, but it's a really nice palette just to have to add into your craft stash as well. Really usable palette, so really nice add-on one there for you to be able to grab as well. But we'll have a board so you can see exactly what it is that you are getting. So we're going to start off with the teddy bear's picnic. Now you have got the mats here, you can see, for those teddies. So if you want to bring them out to the focal point of the card, you can really easily do that with the mats there for them. I love that you've got them in different poses as well, so you can really build up that scene and that almost like a storybook with these. You've got one there that is having a nap. He looks like he's eating way too much cake and he's just propped up. He could be propped up there next to his teepee. You've got one sitting, one standing there bringing in a slice of cake, a sandwich. You've got your scene building elements here, like your picnic, your cake and your flask, and then that lovely teepee as well. And somebody was saying that they'd got this die just because they wanted the teepee to go with the camper van. So you could really mix and match this up with camping themed cards as well. Or one of the things I was saying, you could put tiny lights in there and use it like a children's play tent. So there's so many different ways that you could utilize this. Then we go on to our new blooms. These are really big, beautiful florals that you can build in. Now, one of the lovely things with this, you could actually weave these into the rattan card shapes and so you could make a heart wreath using these florals, because the stems from these will actually fit into these. So you could, and think of other stems, other florals that you've got at home as well, that you could actually weave into these and make a heart wreath with that really easily. And you could do that with the label one too. But you've got your florals there, you've got those decoupage elements that you could build in or use on their own just to add in extra elements, and just those little fillers where you've got little gaps in your florals. And then we go on to the basket. Now you do have those mats and layers there, so you could make card shapes on their own with this. You can also use the basket. So if you've seen yesterday's show, this was one of the cards I did yesterday, using the mats and layers there as the card base, and then you've got the mats and layers on the inside, so you could make that into an aperture if you wanted to. So you can see I've used one there just to give me that bit of dimension. And then these bits are the bits that hang over that basket, so it almost looks like a blanket and it's just draping over that basket, and you've got your beautiful bow there. But you can also use the basket completely on its own as well. So you could use the basket to make your card base too. So this is one we did in the earlier show. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch the demo on that we did on this. But you can see that different ways of using that basket. But one of the things I was saying, that could be like a Mother's Day basket. You could put a bottle of wine in there. You could put cake in there. You could make it like a food basket. You could do that in so many different ways. You could put garden tools in there, and to make it more masculine. There's so many different ways you could do that. You could cut the handle off and make it like a baby bassinet. You can make it into so many different things, which is very, very good. Really usable one. Then we go on to our Easter egg hunters. So you've got your scene building characters here. So you've got the little child there with his basket. Again, you've got the mat to go with that one. And then you could be popping these eggs in there. We've seen some samples where the DT members have put flowers in there. You could cut the basket away and just have him going for a walk in the woods, so you could eliminate the basket if you wanted to. You could put presents in it and make it into a Christmas card. You could put a Christmas hat on him instead, and then put a Christmas present in his basket. And then you've got the animals there to build into the scene. And then you've also got the eggs that you could pop into those woodland scenes. So it does look like he's going on a proper Easter egg hunt. Then we've got forest floor. So you've got your lovely woodland scene there straight away. And this is just one layer, but you've got that shading built in there in the vignettes, and it looks so three-dimensional straight away. And then you've got your path or your river that can pop there along the bottom, and that just adds to the dimensions straight away. And then you've got all of your scene building elements. So you've got all those elements you can build your scene around. You've got your grounding elements here, and then you've got your florals that you can tuck in between these trees as well, which is going to give you a whole new look. This was one of the ones that we did in an earlier show. So we made an acetate card, and you can just see, if I turn that around, you can see the flowers, look, just how they build up in there. So you can really see the florals in between those trees, which just work amazing. So you've got all those elements there to build up your scene. Then we go on to our rattan card shapes. So this is the heart. Now, like I said, you've got your outside mass and layers there, and then you've got those centerpieces that you can use as well. Because even if you just cut those out, you're still going to get little hearts that you can use as labels, or you could use them to pop your sentiments on. So you've got your heart, mass and layers in the center. You've got the outside ones there, so you can use them for your card bases. So you could pop them onto a card or use it to make the actual card base itself. And you can see there, just using it as my card shape. So that was one of the demos we did yesterday, if you want to go back and watch that. And then this is actually cut out from the vignette. So you even get the vignettes from these, and these are so detailed. You have so much detail in the die. But then look at the detail that you get in the artwork as well. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. You just want to feel it. That looks pretty like that, just in black and white. Well, it's not white, is it? But just like that, it pops off the page. And then you've got the exact same in the label as well. So you've still got your outside mats and layers. You've got those smaller tags there that you could use for sentiments, and then you've got that stunning effect there with that rattan vignette. So that's everything in the rattan card shape and the Spring Grandeur Collection. So we'll go through some of the samples that the design team have done for us, because I can tell they've enjoyed this collection because there's so many samples. Absolutely loads. So we've got one here that Fiona's done for us, and you can see that using the mats and layers for those trees to actually make your card base looks amazing. And then she's cut into the trees to decoupage those up. Look at the dimension that you get on there. It looks so 3D, looks absolutely amazing. Then we've got one here by Sue, who has done the same thing using the basket to make the card base, and then adding in those florals. using the tails from the bow there, so you can see snip into them. Always say so much snippability with Carnation Crafts. And then I've got one here from Sue. You might have to come out for this one. Look at this. Building up that scene, so using multiples of those trees, look, cut in. How amazing does that look? That looks like something out of a storybook, doesn't it? You just, oh, Bunny was just going to say the exact same thing. We're on the same wavelength. So you can see that one there. Then we go on to one here by Janine. This one's using that heart, rattan card shape with the florals. And then we've got one here by Kat, using the label. So you can see, even using the same design, card style, how different they look. And this one is just using the blush cardstock. So this isn't even using the vignette. And that still looks so striking like that. And that's just using that blush cardstock, not even using the vignette to go with it. Then we've got one here by Pam. So you can see him there. Really, really lovely. Right, I've got one here by Sue. I think I'm going to have to come out for this one as well. Ready? Look at this. We can't even get all this one. This is there. We'll stay there. Look at that. How striking is that? Now, do you know, this card makes me think of a wedding card, and I hadn't thought of wedding cards in this collection, but seeing this card now, it makes me think of like a wedding card, an engagement card, or an invitation. I mean, that just looks amazing, doesn't it? You could hang a couple of these hearts, couldn't you? And make like a wall hanging decoration or like a plaque. So we've got that one there, and then I'm going to stick with the big ones for a minute, because yeah. And then look at that. How amazing does that? Fiona's done this one. Really, really striking. Such a big card. And again, you can see how you can build those scenes up really, really easily. And they just work so well. Yeah, so Bunny's just said the more you look at them, the more you notice. And it is, like, you can see the little hedgehog popping out. Should we do that? Bunny's just said we could make a kid's book where it could be Spot the Hedgehog. Do you know what we'll have to do? Next time, I'm going to plan this. So next time we have a collection where there's something small, like the egg, I'm going to hide it in every demo I do, and then that'll be the game. You've got to try and spot where it is in the demo. Then we've got this one here by Vera. So you can see they're using that basket again with those flowers, with the teddy bears there from the Teddy Bears Picnic, and that lovely bow on top. And then I've got another one here from Vera. I just wanted to show this because this, I think, looks so elegant. And that's just using one of the flowers with different mats and layers. But how striking does that look? Just using those mats and layers and just one of those flowers again. And then we've got the label card shape here. And I love this because it looks really clean and simple and elegant. And the lovely thing with this as well, you could do it either way. So you could have those going either way, just using small parts there of the flower with that rabbit. Looks so, so striking. And then we've got another one here, using the heart with the bunny, using those florals again to wrap around. And then I'll just do one more. So we've got this one here by Fiona, bringing in, I love how she's cut the teepee to put the teddy in there. So you can see how you could mix that. So you can mix those in like that. So, so cute. And look, you've got the little squirrel hiding at the top. Right, so all of those samples, you can see the design team have thoroughly enjoyed using the Spring Grandeur Collection, which is the focal point of all the samples we've just shown you, and you can see all the dies that you'll be getting in that collection there for you. Right, let's get on with our first demo of the show. So we're going to start off with the basket to start off with, and we've cut out the outside mat for this. Okay, so I'm using those perfect papers in the dark blue, so beautiful colorway in the perfect papers for these. So I've gone in to start off with the dark blue, and I'm just gonna, don't do this at home, but I'm just gonna follow that quickly. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Right, so we're going to glue that onto there like that. So we've got our card base. So you've got that lovely dark blue colour to start off with. So we've got our card shape, and then I've gone in with the stripe. So you just see that subtle colour with the white on it. Absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to add in some foam on the back of this, just to raise this up from that dark blue in the background, and then we can pop this onto there. So you have got different mat and layers with this one, and you've also got the center part as well. So if you wanted to do this card shape, you could pop the inside die in there, and then this would make it into the aperture style card shape, because you'll still have that center part cut out. So lots of different ways that you can use this. That is just going to sit on there like that, and then we're going to go in with our blush cardstock next, and I'm going to do the exact same thing and just pop some foam tape on the back of here, just to raise this up from the colour in the background. Now I'm only doing 3 layers on here, and then we're going to add in flowers. So I wanted to get some height and dimension in the background. So we can pop that on there like so. So we've got our mass and layers, and you can see that looks so dimensional, and you've instantly, I always say, a different shape, card shape, and you've got something that's going to draw your eye in straight away. I could put that on there flat and just put Happy Mother's Day in the center, and that already looks like a beautiful card. But obviously we're not going to leave it like that. We are going to add in some beautiful flowers. Now, to start off with, before I glue any flowers in, we're going to glue our basket first. So in the basket die, you've also got these little shapes. Now these are your blanket, like your picnic, your picnic blanket. Bunny has just said to me she's only just noticed that they've got little polka dots on. Have you only just noticed that? To be fair though, I have been, you know, prepping with it. But you can see, yes, they do have little polka dots on, so you can see that there. So that will just hug, they've got almost like little hooks. So you can see that, so you've almost got like a little hook, and that, this bit, so those ones will just snug fit on there, so it looks like that's draping over the basket. And then the same with this one, that's going to just hug behind there, and then it looks as if it's just hanging over the side of the basket. It's always just those little things that, like, I wouldn't have thought of, you know, those little touches, and all those little extra touches just make the biggest difference. So that's going to go on there. I've just had a really out there idea, and I don't know if I should say it because I don't think you're going to agree with me. If I cut that bit off, doesn't it look like a banana? She's not saying it. I'm not. You could pop them in there. It could be like a fruit basket. It could be a fruit basket. Well, I thought I was on to a good idea then. I'm on my own. I think it looks like a little banana. Right. Anyway, let's move on to some flowers, shall we? All right. Now I've already popped on a couple of the decoupage florals on here, so you can just see you've got a little bit of dimension on there. Now we're going to do the exact same thing here. So you've got your flower, and then you've got your two decoupage elements there. So we're going to pop these on. So I'm just going to grab my foam pads. So these are the foam pads from the Clean and Simple range. We're going to pop these on to there. And then what I like to do when I'm using foam pads for my decoupage, I will pop that on. And then when I've put it on, just give it a little squeeze. And then you can see it just holds its shape a bit better. So if I was doing it at home and I had lots of time, do it with pin flare, and then you can just leave it to set before you go on and add other things onto it. So it's always time. Bunny's just asked me how long pin flare takes to dry. Well, I think the official answer is for it to completely set. I think it's like 24 hours, but it does go hard within a couple of hours. But I think if you banged it or something, it could potentially still move. So I think the official time is 24 hours. But so we're going to pop that one there. Now we've got this one that can go there. Got another one that can sit in here. So I'm just going to have a play around with where I want the flowers, and then we're going to go in with our daffodils here, and you've got the exact same thing for these. You've got all of those beautiful daffodil heads that you can decoupage up. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with these, and you know what, that you could, how much do those daffodils still pop off the page, even though it's white on white? You can still see how much dimension is in those, and they just pop, which is absolutely amazing. So even if you do want to make, you know, more of a clean and simple card and you want them to be on white, you could still absolutely do that. So that's gonna go there like that. And then this one's going to go on there, and then you can keep doing this. Now this one, I have already cut this down. So have I got one? Yeah. So you can see I've just cut that top bit off. So I wanted this to be a little bit shorter. And then I've just got one more floral to add in. Pop that on there, and then we've got all of our daffodils decoupaged up, so I'll just give those a little bit of a shape, and then you can see there we've got those decoupaged up. So now we can add this in as well. So I'm going to cut this one down because I know I want that to wrap around there, so I'm just going to cut the tail off that. And then what I find easiest to do is to grab some pin flare, and then we can pop this basket down, and then we can just tuck the flowers in where we need them. So you can just do it like this, or you could do it, if you were doing it at home and you're going to take some more time, you could go in and just pop the flowers where you want them, and then go in and glue the basket in afterwards. So same thing now. So I've cut, this is the one that I've cut down, so you can see that's shorter than what that one is. So we'll pop some pin flare on the back of here, and then we're going to tuck that there like that. They just work effortlessly. You don't really need to think about them. You can put them in any which way and it just works without even thinking about it. So that is going to sit there like that. So that one's coming up taller. Then this one is going to sit about there. So I'll put some pin flare on the back here. And we do have pin flare available on the website, so if you want to go ahead and grab any of those while you're ordering, perfect time to stock up. And then this one's just going to sit there in the middle. So I have added more blue because I've got the matte and layers there, and I've got 2 of those, so that brings that together. But then I just wanted that pop of pink there in the centre. Now you could keep going with this if you wanted to and add in more. Like I could add more daffodils in if you wanted to, or you could add more here to break it up. You can just keep going with these, and this is the fun of having a collection like this. You can just go in and have fun building them up. And then the other thing you could do, like I said, those decoupage elements, so those little daffodils heads, you could then go in and start popping these around as well. So if you, maybe this gap here, you're thinking, oh, I don't want that gap there, I want to fill it. You can add in your daffodils heads, and you could fill these little bits in as well. So you could go in and use those decoupage elements in different ways as well. Now we have got Celebrate Your Day, which is going to sit there like that. So what I'm going to do is I've cut this out in the Perfect Papers, and I've used the darker shade of blue because I felt like that just kind of coordinated in a little bit more. So let's just get some more glue on my mat and use my glue, and then I've cut the mat that this is going to sit on in that same blush cardstock, so that's going to coordinate in with the background, so you can see how everything just comes together really easily and looks amazing because we've got that unique card shape there straight away. So they just work so well. So that's going to go on there, and then we're going to pop that onto our mat. So you've got Celebrate Your Day, which again could be a birthday card, could be an anniversary card, it could be so many different occasions. That's going to sit there like that. There. Pop some glue on there because I've got different levels on the back. So that is going to sit there like that. And then, do you know what? I am going to pop a little daffodil behind there just to close that gap up a bit. So I'll put that there like that. So you've got that there, and then if we wanted to, we could also go in and add in a bow as well. Now if I pop that bow in there like that, that's just going to cover most of those flowers. Now you could go in and pop it behind it, like we have used pin flare, so we could easily do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, because I always say, you know, always have so much snippability with carnation dies, and all you've got to do is, like, I'm just cutting the tail, and all I've got to do is do 1, 2, 3 little snips, and then you've got a completely separate bow. It looks like a completely different die on its own. And this, I think you will use, like bows, I feel like we use bows all the time. So another element that you will keep using, and I am going to just tuck that there like that under our flower. So we've got Celebrate Your Day with your flowers. So we've used the basket and bow card shape to make that card base with those mats and layers, and then your basket there with the blanket and the bow, and then we've used the new blooms there just to decorate that basket. So obviously we've done it like a floral basket, but that could be a bakery basket, a gardener's basket. It could be so many different ways that you could use that. So, but everything I have used there is all from the Spring Grandeur Collection, which is our brand new launch, which yesterday, this morning was the last time we checked the stock, and we were over 60% of the stock had gone. So I know you're all enjoying this collection as much as I am as well. Now, the other collection that we do have today is the rattan card shapes. And I think you're all enjoying this just as much because the stock for this is exactly the same as the main collection. So we were over 60% of the stock of this gone as well. So I think you're all adding this in to go with it, which I don't blame you because it works absolutely perfectly with this collection. But it also works so well just on its own, which is brilliant. So let's get another demo in. And this one, we are using the heart shape. So we're using the rattan heart. Now I'm going to use this on its own. So like I said, you do have the outside matten layers. So like you can see there, you've got those matten layers there that you can use on the outside. So like the card that I showed you I did yesterday, you could use those as matten layers and make those cards on their own. Or obviously you could do your matten layers and just use them as matten layers onto a card. But for this one, we're going to use the card and we're going to make the card out of the rattan heart on its own. Okay, so like I said with the tree one, cut out multiples of these if you want to do it, just so it's got the strength to hold itself up. Because obviously that is not what it's been designed to do, but it does work perfectly doing it. So we've got one. So we've cut one out using the vignette, and this is going to be our base. Then we've cut out another one. Now what you're going to do is just score it in half. So you've got that, and then you're going to fold the end part up. So you've got a score there and there. Okay. So I just go across the crease there and then fold it in half. So you've got half. And then I just follow where that join is. I just go from there. So you've got those little bits there like that. Okay. So then we've done that. So the next thing we're going to do with our Wednesday glue is glue this top bit. So we're going to glue this top fold, and then that is going to go onto our base like so. So we glue that, and I always say if you're doing something like this, use a wet glue because you want that strength in it. You don't want to worry that it's going to move or it's going to come loose, but also when that glue dries, it's going to harden the cardstock as well, so you're also going to get more strength in the cardstock using a wet glue too. And then we've got this bit here. So what we're going to do with this bit is the exact same thing. So we're going to glue this part. Now if I was doing this at home, I'd add a little bit of red liner tape on this as well just to hold it into place, because what I've done with the other one, so I've cut out another one again and I've put a sheet of acetate behind it. So our Carnation Crafts acetate, just pop that on and you can see you've got that lovely shine. You can see the acetate there coming through. So we've got the acetate sheet on there. Now that is just going to sit onto there like so. And again, that sheet of acetate is just going to help with the strength of holding that up. So now we've got our card shape. So you can see. Nah. You can see our card shape. So we've got that Yes, you can see that. Right, now we're going to do the fun bit. Now, I've done essentially 3 die cuts so far, and you have got such an interesting looking base straight away, and that's the beauty of using dies like these. You can just make something so pretty, so effortlessly as well. They just come together so lovely. Now for this bit, because obviously we've got not a lot going on, but the background is quite detailed, so I didn't want to put too much on the front. So we're going to go in and we're just going to make like a little scene with our teddy bear. So it's going to be like a teddy bear's picnic scene, and we're going to add in some of these. They are absolutely adorable. So these are going to sit in. Let's get some glue. Oh, I'm gluing myself to everything. Right. So we'll grab some glue. So we're going in with the daffodils to start off with. We'll pop those there. I love that the flowers actually match up the larger flowers. So if you want to build up a scene and you want those larger flowers at the front, you can do that because they're going to coordinate in with the smaller flowers at the back too, which is amazing. And then we'll pop some onto there. Our hyacinth. I am getting better, I feel. Trying to. So I'm going to add that. So we've got him there. And we're going to add our basket there. So, and that just helps to ground him in place. And then what you can do is you can add in all those little elements. So like these, you can just go in and it almost like it completes your scene. It just takes it to that next level, adding in all those little elements. I mean, I think it's a blanket. I've been using it like a little blanket. Bunny just said she thought it was a Swiss roll. I mean, you could colour it like a Swiss roll. Oh, she's going back on it now. Right, and then we're going to add in our flask in there. And then we'll add in our cake. And so we'll pop this just for there, so it's like it's in the basket, ready to be eaten. We've got that there. And then what I'm going to do is open that up. And then I've got one of the hearts that you can see. Those are the smaller hearts that come in the collection. So we could either pop that there and have that as a stopper, or we could leave that and have the card as the stopper, and we could pop that there. We'll do that, we'll do that. We'll pop this up here. Let's just curve that. We'll pop this there. And then if I turn that so you guys can see, you can see we've got our heart shape there, like that. So again, it's just another way of being able to use those rattan card shapes, but you can also see how perfectly they work in with the Spring Grandeur collection. It just looks perfect. And you could do that exact style card with the label shape as well. So you could do that exactly the same way with the label, and then it would look completely different again. So you could really mix and match those two up. But they just look, it looks so detailed, but it's actually very, very easy to put together. But our Spring Grandeur collection is our new launch, which launched yesterday. It's been amazingly popular, and over 60% has gone already. So lovely to grab it now while we've still got stock. Our other new collection that we've brought in is the rattan label card shapes, which is the ones that you've just seen me use. You've got the heart and you've got the label card shape there, so you could really mix and match those two up together. I feel like they work perfectly with this collection, but they also work so well just on their own. I think they're, for me, they're kind of those essentials that you're going to bring in to your collections. Now we've got some lovely card samples here. Some of them we haven't even gone through yet, so we're going to try and get through as many of these as we can, so you can see different ways that the design team have used these. This one's done by Sue, and you can see there bringing in, I love how Sue's put the smaller daffodils there in the back, so you really get that depth in the bouquet, and that makes me think again of like a wedding card or an engagement card, which I hadn't thought of with this collection, but I think when you see it like that, it just looks so pretty. And you've got the bow there that Sue was actually cut down to change the size of that bow, so you could do things like that too. We've got another one here then by Pam, which is using that rattan label card shape, so you can see how Pam's used the mats and layers there to make the card base, bringing in that rattan label shape there, and then bringing in those teddy bear picnic and your scene building animals there from the Easter hunt, how they just work perfectly together. Then we've got one here from Janine, again using that rattan label card shape, but this time pairing it with the forest floor. You've got the elements here from New Blooms. You've got the Teddy Bear's Picnic. You've got the Easter egg hunters there. You can see bringing in those florals. You've got a mix there, which just works so well. Even bringing in the bow there from the basket, which just looks absolutely amazing. Or then you can see this one here, using that basket again with the flowers. You can see how lovely that just screams like a Mother's Day card to me. It could just be, or birthday card. It could even be a get well soon card. If you know somebody who's in hospital, can you imagine giving that to somebody instead of a card? Because you're not allowed to take flowers into hospitals anymore, are you? No, you're not allowed anymore. So like that looks so pretty next to somebody if they've gone into hospital. And then we've got one here by Pam using the card shape, but actually just using it as mats and layers onto a card, which just looks amazing. And then we've got one here by Kat. So you can see there using the heart. And then we've got one here by Vera, look, Happy Easter. So pretty. Really, really lovely. But all of those cards have been made by the design team using that Spring Grandeur Collection, which is our brand new launch. Over 60% has gone already. So a really, really nice one to be able to get. I think it's just, I think for me, it's the fact that you can use it for so many different occasions, and it just, it's like, it's so effortless to use. I think that's why this has been so popular, and I think it brings back memories for people as well. Like I said, for me, it makes me think of going to play in the woods when I was a kid. You know, just things like that. It just brings back memories. And then the card shapes that we've got, which are also brand new yesterday, are the rattan card shape collection. So you're getting the heart and the label in here. So you're getting the two of these for $39.99, which is amazing because they are large dies that you get in here. You can see, look, these ones are big dies that you're getting. So you've got the outside mats, you've also got the inside mats and layers as well. So you could use those as apertures, little tags, or as the card bases. So I've got one more demo I want to try and get in. Now this demo I am using the rattan label. Now this one, my aim for this, because I feel like the demos that I've done, I've kind of used quite a lot on them. you know, I've kind of mixed in the new blooms with the teddy bear's picnic and things like that. And this one, I wanted to do quite a simple looking card. I just wanted to go clean and simple for this one. So I've done 2 of the rattan labels and I've stuck those together. So we've got that rigidity in here. This is quite a lot now. And so I've done the exact same thing. Okay, so I've got 2 and we're going to glue these together. So exactly like we just did with the heart, really. We're going to use these, and this is what we're going to make our card base with. So we're going to pop 2 onto there. Just dot around those areas. Just tap that. I've got a big lump of glue there. I know I'm going to make a mess of. Right, so we glue them onto that like that. So now I've got those 2 layers. I know now that's going to be strong enough to hold itself up. And then while we do the front, we glue this bit on. So what we're going to do is glue this top bit. And like I said earlier, if you want to do something like this, try and use a wet glue, because when this dries, that will also add more strength to the cardstock as well. So especially if you're doing something like this, every little bit helps. So just move that into place. So that's going to sit there like that. So I've got my card shape now straight away, and you can see that's strong enough now that that will hold itself up. Okay, so I've got 4 layers there. Okay, so that's going to hold itself up. So now we'll do the front bit. So I'm going to go in with my daffodils, and what we're going to do, we'll pinflow these. So let's just add a bit of shape to these. So I'm using the carnation ball tools and the mat, which I'm sure are available on the website if you want to do things like this with these, because they work really, really well. And then I'm just going to turn that around and just push in where the stems are, because I want the flowers to pop out. And then this is just going to sit there like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this down, and then I'll snip that bottom bit off. So I'll add, not on that one, add some pin flare. Now if you are worried about doing something like this with this one, what you could do is actually just set it and then put a bit of scrap paper underneath. But you can see, even though if I move that, if you go to the other camera, you can see that that's still holding itself up. So I'm not worried that that's going to touch the bottom bit and get stuck together, because you can see it's still holding itself up anyway, so you're completely fine. So I'm going to cut that bottom bit off. So that just looks absolutely perfect there now, like that. And then we're going to do our decoupage elements then. So this is going to go on the top bit. So I just give these a little shape, and the cut lines in Carnation's dies have been designed so you can go in and shape them, and they work perfectly. If you've ever had dies where you shape them and you find that the cardstock creases, or you're trying to move it and it just doesn't go, it's because the cut lines are almost like forcing the cardstock in a direction to go, and you'll never get that with Carnation. So we're going to do the same thing again, and just go around that, and that's just going to shape that. And then if you wanted to, you could go like this and shape it, so you can see now how that's standing up, and then flip it round, and then just push the centre bit in, and the petals off. And then you can do the centre set, and then that's going to go there. That. So you could do these, do some of them, just round like we did that one, and do it like that, and that just adds more dimension. I've got the flowers going in different directions. So I'm just going to pop there, like that, and then pop that one there. So I'm going to do this again. This one's just going to go there, like that, and then we're doing the same with this one. So we're going to do the exact same thing again. So we're just going to roll that. Pop that on there, and then let's just move that away. And there, those centre bits, you've got massive layers for those. So we've almost like a tag. And we're going to pop this on. I'm just going to add a strip of foam onto there, just to raise that one up. Foam tip on there as well. Right, so let's pop this one on there. So this is the smaller die you've got on the side. So in those masking layers tags, you've got the centre bit that you could use an aperture, or you could use on that. The form on that, and then it's just gonna sit along the bottom of our label, and then you can see we've gone for more of that clean pencil look. Are we okay to go? Yeah. So our label. So that one we want that more clean, simple look instead of in with bits of everything. So you make that sim card. If you back different flower, so you could do that card, and then add that one in instead, and you'd have 3 completely separate cards just doing the exact thing and changing the flower, which is independent. So we're going to just have a quick look at the collection before we go. So this is the Spring Grandeur Collection for $9.99, which is our price for the next days. This launched on yesterday. So it was launched today. So this is only our second day of launch. I've completely lost it. I'm saying that we're saying bye, and we will be back at 2. Yes, I'm gonna say yeah. Right. So we are that's the end of our second show. We'll be back at 2, and I'll watch their cars, then come back, grab